Hi, I'm Megan and I blog at welcometothe.zoo.ca. I've got another question from a viewer about home daycare. And this is the question. How do you get all of your daycare kids to nap at the same time in the same room? So I don't have a huge house, and you may be in the same boat. It would be nice for all of the daycare kids to have their own room and their own space to nap in at nap time, but quite often that's just not practical. So you really do need to be able to get all of your daycare kids to nap in the same area, in the same room, at the same time each day. So there are several tips that I've got for you, and that's what we're going to take on today. Is this thing on? All right, so the first thing is to make sure that you're making nap time a consistent part of your routine. You need to practice it every day until it really is routine. And then, if you shake things up by going on a field trip once or twice a month, that kind of thing, it's not going to be a big deal. But for the most part, you want to make sure that every single day you're doing nap time at exactly the same time every day. The next thing you want to do is make sure that you change diapers and go to the bathroom before you lay the kids down for a nap. There's nothing worse than trying to get all of your kids asleep and getting most of them asleep, and then somebody has a dirty diaper that needs to be changed. So you take that kid to the washroom to change them or to the change table, and in doing so wake up a few of the other kids who were asleep or almost asleep. It's terrible. So make sure you just take care of that before nap time. The next one is to give each child a dedicated space to sleep. So whether that's in a playpen if they're an infant, or on a daycare cot just low to the floor, or even a mat or whatever you've got, make sure that each child knows exactly where they're sleeping, what they're sleeping on, and what they're sleeping with, their own pillow, their own blanket, whatever, their own stuffy, and make that the same place, put that cot in the same place every day. Make sure that you provide a warm blanket and a pillow. Like I just said, make sure that each one has something to make them feel nice and cozy. Now, if it's hot outside and whatever, they may not actually want the blanket over them. They may just want to cuddle with the blanket. That's okay too. Just whatever makes them feel cozy and like they're ready to sleep. Okay, close off the blinds and turn off the lights. So make it as dark as possible. Now, through the rest of the day, they should be getting lots of sunshine and lots of natural light, which is great. But at nap time, you want to make sure that there's a very definite change in the atmosphere so that their bodies get the idea that, okay, this is time to wind down, it's time to shut our eyes and go to sleep. So turn off your lights as much as possible and close your blinds. So the next thing you want to do is play the same soft music every day. And there's a great CD by Plum called Blank, and it's a collection of lullabies, but they're not, little kid type lullabies, and so they won't drive you crazy listening to them. So just stick it on repeat and let it play for the 2 hours. And there's a couple of things that this does. The same music every day, it gets the kids remember it from day to day, and they realize, okay, this music means it's nap time, it's time to go to sleep, close my eyes, rest, and relax. It also will cover up any unexpected noises. It'll make it a little bit easier for the kids that are already asleep. If the doorbell rings unexpectedly or the phone rings unexpectedly, it's more likely to kind of smooth over those sudden noises, and the kids are less likely to wake up because of them, which is kind of nice because you never know when the delivery guy is going to want to drop off a package right at nap time, which hopefully he'll remember not to ring the doorbell, but you never know. So it helps with that. Same with moving things around, or if a baby wakes up and cries, it's more likely to cover up that noise a little bit more easily. Okay, so for the kids that won't sleep, they really should probably be on their cots or in a certain place where they know that it's everybody else is sleeping. They need to stay quiet for those 2 hours. So they're welcome to lay down on a cot and look at books, or do something else that's nice and quiet where they're not going to be talking to themselves or singing or whatever and disturbing the other kids. Now, I would encourage you to try and get those kids to nap, even if maybe their parents say they're not natural nappers or whatever. But knowing from experience, there's only so much you can expect of some kids. Some kids really will grow out of their nap time. doesn't mean they can't still have a quiet time where they're just being nice and quiet, letting everybody else sleep, and they at the same time they're still getting that rest and that rest for their brains, just to let their brains shut down and chill out for a couple of hours. That's good for them too. So whether they're actually sleeping or they're just having a quiet time, you can provide books or maybe some quiet coloring or whatever for them to do. Okay, so while you're laying everybody down for a nap, you start with the kids that will go to sleep or stay on their cot a little bit more easily, and go around, make sure you tuck each one of them in, kiss them, say night-night. Whatever you do, whatever your routine is, do that every day. And again, especially with the younger ones, being consistent and being in that routine gives them that cue that they need to know that, okay, now it's sleep time, now it's quiet time, we're going to settle down, we're going to stay in one spot, we're going to close our eyes and be nice and quiet. And then if anyone gets up off their cot, you just lead them back to their cot, lay them back down gently, maybe rub their back, or for younger kids especially, one great technique is just running your fingers gently down their forehead while they're laying on their back. Just down their forehead, down their nose, and it's amazing. If they're tired already, quite often they'll fall asleep very quickly. If they're not, it will at least kind of help them to zone out a little bit and just relax. Or rubbing their back or scratching their back or even rubbing feet. I've done that too, and for some kids that works wonders. So at the end of nap time, no matter if the kids are all in a sound sleep, you want to stop nap time at the same time every day. So I know, it'll get to 3 o'clock, and if you don't have anything else you need to do for the rest of the day, bus runs that you need to do or anything like that, it may be tempting to say, oh, they're sleeping so soundly, I don't want to wake them up. But here's the thing, if you let them sleep longer today, then they're going to be harder to get to sleep tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So you want to stick to your routine as closely as possible. So eventually their little bodies will get into the habit of going to sleep at 1 o'clock and waking up at 3 o'clock or whatever your timing is. If they're doing it the same time every day, their bodies will get into that rhythm, and they'll know, and it's not going to affect their nighttime sleep, which is great for parents later on in the day. But it's going to also, when they're sleeping during the day during nap time, they're going to have a much better quality of sleep. So at the end of nap time at 3 o'clock or whenever you stop nap time each day, you want to open the blinds, turn on the lights, and turn off the music. And then you want to, say, okay, everybody, it's time to wake up, talk in your normal voice, all of that stuff. Maybe you kind of rub the backs again of kids who are having trouble coming out of that sleep so that they come out gradually and they're not, cranky or anything. But do make it a definite change so that their bodies start to realize, okay, this is when nap time is going to end, and this means it's time to wake up, clean up our cots, put everything away, and get on with the rest of our day. And again, just to drill home the fact that you don't want to let kids sleep longer than your scheduled nap time. Again, it'll make it harder for the parents at the end of the day getting their kids to sleep, and the quality of sleep that the kids have during the nap time is going to be a little bit lower. So just keeping on with that consistency. And it may get discouraging day after day as you're struggling to kind of get through nap time and make sure all the kids are sleeping at the same time. But that consistency and doing it every day at the same time is going to pay off. Eventually, all of your kids, it may take 2 weeks or a month to get them all on the same schedule, but once they are, you're going to have that time, that quiet time, to be able to get things done and to be able to take a rest yourself. So there you go. That's how I get 5 kids to nap at the same time in the same room. Just consistency, sitting beside them, making sure they stay put, and helping them to know that the schedule's not going to change just because they're a little bit wired one day. They're going to have to still take a quiet time or a nap time every single day. I'd love to hear your advice, how you get all of your children, your daycare kids, to nap at the same time. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Feel free to send in your questions too if you have questions to Megan at welcometothe zoo.ca. All right, I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.